Alabama, Oklahoma has struggled to get started in the first quarter. But unlike Alabama, Oklahoma has had some early key turnovers in the first half. Alabama is leading the country right now in first half turnovers. So there's a lot of averages right now that Alabama's defense, a lot of tendencies that Alabama defense showcase on a down and down basis. And I was kind of talking with Jason about this, and we both said it's crazy how Alabama's defense, every time they need a big play, right? Every time they need a big stop, a turnover, they find a moment to where they capitalize, and they found like a rhythm on how to do that. They pick their spots perfectly. And I'm not saying that some of those drop picks are done on purpose, but it seems like when those guys truly lock in and they know a play is coming, they see their opportunity, they see they've created a moment or forced the team into something that they were planning for, have prepared for. That's what dangerous defense. So Alabama's defensive matchups, I look on the perimeter, the Oklahoma wide receivers against Alabama's secondary. This is going to be a game I truly believe Kane Womack might take a page out of LSU's playbook and kind of really put pressure on the line of scrimmage in front of John Mateer, who's been very inaccurate. Anytime he has pressure, anytime there's somebody at his feet, his evasiveness is not as effective as it was early on. People are kind of finding those schemes that can contain him, and he drops his head a lot, and he's not great at throwing the ball on the run. Now, creating space and extending the pocket to get a pass off, he does a good job. But as far as throwing on the run, getting pressure on him, that's going to be a key factor. And so on the back end of things, you're going to need discipline on your coverage. We can't have a lot of Deshaun Jones type mistakes this game. And I'm not joking. I'm not downing the young man. But even this last game, Red Morgan needs the opportunity to go ahead and start the game and set the tone. He really does. Monty Jackson is trending back upward with his play. Hasn't truly been tested yet, but let's see what happens this game, because I think Mateer is going to be really. They're playing relentless this game. They have everything to play for. They have so much to lose. You know how most teams say we got nothing to lose. No, they have a lot to lose. So I can expect Mateer to kind of try to step up. He hasn't yet. When the big lights have been on, John Mateer has yet to step up. Yo, what up, Jason? Good to see you in the chat, man. Where you at? We're just gonna call you on the phone line in a few minutes. We got about 5 minutes before we open the phone lines. I'm breaking this game down real quick from an Alabama standpoint before me and you have our show together. I think we're gonna do ours Thursday or Friday night. One of these nights, man. We might go bowling up there in T-Town since we're gonna be already up there. Oh, I'm just spilling all the beans, ain't it, man? But anyways, man. I look at the strengths. Let's flip the page, Mary J. Offensive matchup. I think the key matchup is going to be Alabama secondary versus Oklahoma's wide receivers and their passing attack. The front seven, I truly believe, will be able to get pressure against this offensive line of Oklahoma. Other teams have done it. Tennessee was able to do it early on. They kind of got away from it when Mateer and they made a few plays with his legs. The run game kind of woke up in a few moments, kind of like what Alabama has done with their run game. It woke up in the right moments to create space for the passing game to do what they need to do explosively. So I look at the matchup, and I'm not going to say who I like right now, but I see those matchups being the key difference in how this game turns out. I flip it on the other side. Offensive matchup. Alabama's pass game has been their bread and butter, but in this game, with how aggressive Brett Venables is going to mix up his fronts and a lot of those roll coverages, a lot of times you see a lot of heavy rolls with your box safeties, right? You'll see them, they'll roll to one high after a post. They'll line up in the box and roll one high post snap, or sometimes they'll be a line too high, and you'll see them kind of play like a robber technique with the strong or a weak side tackle box lean. So I see a lot of that coming from Brett Venables this game, because Ty Simpson has showcased the ability to kind of move defenses with his eyes. So if you can be in phase with some of your defensive play calls, meaning if I got my robber safety rolling to a spot where Ty Simpson already has predetermined where he wants to move his eyes or move the defense, if I got a robber safety rolling there already, we've already prepared for the counter that we've been seeing on film, and that's what Brett Venables is good at. Not just sending pressures. A lot of people think it's about just rushing guys. Nah, it's about how you rush them and what you're taking away as far as making that clock in Ty Simpson's head stutter. The more you do that, the better you have a chance of slowing down the passing game. Now, do I believe Alabama's run game can be effective against Oklahoma's run defense? I don't think this is the game to try to test your wits against the best run defense in the country. We're talking about a run defense in Oklahoma that's giving up 3.1 yards per carry, right? Average of 3.1 yards per carry. I truly believe before Ole Miss game it was at like a 2.4 clip. So you had a one-off game that kind of moved that average. But this is one of the stronger run defenses in the country. Do we look at it and say that those numbers carry over effectively? Have they seen a run game like Alabama? We've yet to see Alabama's run game to its fuller extent. We've seen moments where it's been explosive, but can we lean on it in moments where maybe that pass rush, they're getting a solid 5-6 man pass rush? Because I truly believe Brett Venables won't rely on his front four to get pressure on 60% of the play calls this week. He'll let them get probably 40 to 45% of that responsibility, but he's going to send extra pressures because he trusts his back end assignments. And the way they've been tackling in open field, they got to make sure they start off early. They roll up, they warm up in the game, and they get effective late in the game. But first quarter against Tennessee, that's why Tennessee was able to move the ball. A lot of missed tackles in open field. So I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it now from one side of this, and I say Alabama's offense can really be explosive if they exploit the lack on the back end of Oklahoma's defense, right? If they can uphold that athletic front, but I also can see that Oklahoma can be disrupted with just that front. They've been doing it to other teams. Can Alabama's offensive line, the top-rated offensive line, hold up in this game in both phases of it, both pass pro and run protection?